Well, it's lightning and thunder, brimstone and fire, lava water.
Watch your step when you're walking a Babylon. Jerusalem, the place where I belong. I'm on ya, say ya. So much funny business I want. Fire. I'm on ya, say ya. So much funny business I want.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. My name's Officer Archangel from Nottingham Camp. We're here in Nottingham City Centre doing another edition of Cuts from the Streets, and today we're going to be asking our people the tradition of New Year. Is New Year recorded in the Bible? Is January the 1st the beginning of the year and the beginning of the month? That's what we're going to be finding out. And number 3, is it a custom that our people should be following? What does the Bible say about New Year? Cuts from the Streets, stay tuned.
This is Soldier Joseph from IUIC Nottingham. Like the Officer Archangel just said, we're going to bring the Bible to our people and find out when is the New Year actually starts. Because traditionally, it's in dead winter. Is it correct? Is it of the Most High or is it of the tradition of man? So, Cuts of the Street is when I let you know. Cut. Shalom Israel, this is Soldier Joseph, IUIC Nottingham. We're here with Brother
Kamani.
Kamani. We're going to ask him just a few questions about New Year. Do you celebrate New Year?
No.
Why don't you celebrate New Year?
Save money.
Oh, it's just to save money. But traditionally, your family, they all celebrate New Year?
Not really. My grandparents are Rastas, so they don't really do nothing. Like Christmas, nothing. New Year's, nothing.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Officer Archangel here from Israel United in Christ. We're here doing another edition of Cuts from the Streets and asking our people about some of the customs that we follow. The question we're really asking, is it tradition of man or is it biblical? All right, I've got with me Sister Lahanel. Sister, how are you doing? You all right?
I'm all right, yeah.
Excellent, Sister. Sister, do you celebrate New Year's?
Yeah, a bit, I guess. I mean, I'll go out, but I don't really celebrate it. Yeah.
Okay. So on New Year's, you sort of get yourself all spruced up, and you go out and you bring in the New Year, right? And you celebrate that. You celebrate the new or the beginning of the year on January the 1st as the New Year, right? Or the new month, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you know where the origins of New Year comes from?
No.
No idea at all. No one's ever explained to you why we celebrate New Year on that particular day?
No.
Okay. I'm with Brother.
I'm John Ochre.
Brother John, and I'm Sister.
Abino.
And
Coffee.
okay, and it's father and children, right? Excellent. Father, daughter, and son. So the question is New Year. Do you celebrate New Year's?
Yes, I do celebrate New Year.
Okay. And you celebrate the 1st of January as well, bringing in the New Year?
That's right. The 1st of January is New Year because that's the calendar. 31st of December, we say the year has come to an end. 1st of January is a new year coming, so we celebrate the end of the year, and we hope that the coming year will bring us good, fortune.
So, from your knowledge, why people celebrate the 1st of this, January as a new year?
I think because everything they done, like sins or anything bad or anything what's happened, they just want to restart anew.
That's very interesting what you say, restarting new. When you look at the winter, do you see nature coming back to life in the 1st of December? Or what am I saying, 1st of December, 1st of January? Do you see the trees coming back to life, or are they dead, actually?
They're dead. They're still dead.
So, what do you think? The tradition says the 1st of January is the new year.
I'm not sure.
So I was asking the question, so do you think it's something that we should be celebrating as a people? Do you think it's one of our custom?
Yeah, I mean, I celebrate my birthday. So if I celebrate that the good Lord has added 1 year onto my life, then I should understand that I should also celebrate that God has taken me to the end of another year and is starting a new year for me. So naturally, I will celebrate the new year.
Okay, excellent. Now, new, when you hear the word new, it normally means a new beginning, right?
That's right.
So when you look at like January in particular, it's primarily the dead of winter. So is there anything new happening in January?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. Well, something is happening new to me because, like I said, the year has ended. I guess if you are looking at the seasons, then you are saying that because it's a dead season in your view, and therefore what is new about it? Yes. Well, I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it linearly. That, okay, we've come to the end of 12 months, so another year is going to start with January. So, and it makes perfect sense to me to celebrate it. Okay.
If I give you a little bit of background about New Year, the day, like January itself, comes from a god called Janus. He's a pagan god of worship. And 46 BC, Julius Caesar introduced the month of January into the calendar. Hence why we celebrate January as the first or the beginning of the new year. All right. But when you read the scriptures, you find that the new year. Let me ask you a question. On January the 1st, is everything alive or is everything dead in terms of the trees, flowers, etc.?
Nature's dead in terms of the trees and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So January, everything's dead, right? But they say it's a new year, so you think that when something's new, it comes back into its fullness, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't look like January is a year where the trees start to blossom and we see the leaves on the trees, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Do you know that the origins? Do you know where the origins of New Year comes from?
Not necessarily, but if you say, do I know how the months and year came about, then it's the lunar calendar from Kemet. You know, the Egyptians started the lunar calendar, which is what we follow. At least that's what I understand. And if I believe in the lunar calendar, then yes, when January comes, I say a new year has begun.
Excellent. January being the first month of the year, it's a celebration of the god Janus, which is a pagan god. Did you know that?
Yes, I know. Well, I didn't know what you just said, yes. But I know that there's some paganism.
Some links to it.
Yeah, some paganism too.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
January being the first month of the year, it's a celebration of the god Janus, which is a pagan god. Did you know that?
Yes, I know. Well, I didn't know what you just said, yes. But I know that there's some paganism.
Some links to it.
Yeah, some paganism too.
When you look at the original Latin calendar, and even going back into ancient times, everybody celebrated a 10-month calendar. In 46 BC, Julius Caesar added the month of January in honor of the pagan god Janus to the calendar. Was that something that you knew?
No, I didn't know about that.
Now we have what's called the Gregorian calendar, which was put into place by Pope Gregory, which is the calendar we have today. But when you look at the Latin calendar, the first month of the year was always March. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that. I thought we were following the lunar calendar as it started way back in Egypt.
And if
there could be a slight different version of it, yes. Yeah, which is what I think you are trying to allude to. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there is. Yeah.
When you look at the calendar month, like for instance the word September, Sept. Do you know what number that represents in Latin?
7. Okay. 7. Yeah.
And the word October, yeah. The proof.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you come to the word oct.
Yeah. Oct. Yeah, it's not 8. Yeah.
Yes, would be 8. Okay, definitely at hexagon as what? It's an 8-sided. Okay, so 8. Oct represents 8. 8. Okay, so November. What month would that be?
11. What we say is 11th month. So it should be 9th month. The 9th month. Yeah.
So when you come to December, which December stands for dis, or yes, what number would that be?
Okay. 10. Yeah.
Now when you come to January as a continuation, what number would January be then?
11.
Okay. And what number would February be?
12.
And then March would be?
13.
March would be the back to the
1. Yeah.
Back to the first. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, when you look at everything on a seasonal basis, everything comes back into life around when did the tree start blossoming?
March.
March.
And we call it okay. We call it spring. Okay. March was always the beginning of the year. Did you know that?
I didn't. No.
Yeah. So March was the first month, etc. When you come to the month of September, in Latin, do you know what sept is? The term sept or the prefix for sept?
I believe it's not 9. Is it 9? No.
9.
7?
7. Yes, exactly. So October, the prefix for that is oct. Do you know what number that represents?
8.
Exactly. 9. October, November would represent what month would that be then?
November's the 11th month, but it's like 9.
Would be 9. And December is this, or DEC is the prefix for December. What number would that be?
10.
10. So from March to December, there was only 10 months in the calendar. So if December being the 10th month in the Latin calendar, what month would January be?
12. No.
If you was
11.
exactly. And then what would February be?
12.
Again. And then what would March be?
1. Yeah.
The first. Okay. So according to the Latin calendar, March was always the first month or the beginning of the new year. But like I said, in pagan custom, Julius Caesar changed the calendar to introduce January, so they would celebrate the goddess Janus, who represents past and future. So you always see this god depicted with two faces, one looking in front and one looking behind. All right.
Do you believe in the Bible?
A little bit.
Okay, we're going to bring a few scriptures, just 2 scriptures, to show you when the new year is supposed to start. Yeah? So just a couple of scriptures where the new year starts. So if you go to Exodus chapter 12, no, 12.
Exodus chapter 12.
Yeah, chapter 12, verse 1 and 2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of the Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Read on. Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let them and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls.
So here is going into the feast of the Passover. But read the beginning again so we stay in the context.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months.
So this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. Read on. Finish the verse.
The beginning of months, it shall be the first month of the year to you.
So it shall be the first month of the year to you. But what month is he talking about? If you go to Deuteronomy chapter 16 verse 1, it tells you exactly where is the beginning of the month. Because in that month you should be having a lamb to celebrate the feast of the Passover. I think you heard about the feast of the Passover.
No, I hadn't heard of it.
But it's the first feast when the children of Israel came out of Egypt. He asked them to kill the lamb to put on the doors. Yeah, the blood to put on the door. So when God came to destroy the firstborn of the Egyptian, he doesn't have to kill the firstborn of the Israelites. So that was the first feast. But what month is it? Read Deuteronomy 16 verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 1. Observe the month Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month Abib the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt.
So it's the first month of Abib. It means the year of the corn. This means when everything starts to blossom again. So, what season you? Oh, say that again.
Spring.
Exactly. So spring start at the end of March, beginning of April. So that's where the first month of the year is. That's where the beginning of the month is.
You say you go to church? Yeah. Can we show you in the Bible where that is recorded at? Because we need to know whether January is the right month. Let's see what the Bible says. Okay. Two scriptures, right? Yeah. And then we'll let you go. We know you're busy. All right. So we're going to go to the book of Exodus. He's going to read chapter 1. Start at Exodus chapter 12 and start at verse 1. And then he's going to jump to verse 25 and 27 just to link those precepts together, right? Okay, you ready?
Yep. The book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year unto you.
So Moses said to Aaron that this month shall be the beginning of months, and it shall be the beginning of years unto you. So now let's find out what month Moses is talking about. Jump to verse 25, read down to 27.
Verse 25. And it shall come to pass, when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he has promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, It is the service, the sacrifice of the Lord Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptian and delivered our houses. And the people bowed their heads and worshipped.
So the month that was being referred back to verse 1. Go back to verse 1.
Verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
And go back to verse 27 again, just to get the context.
Verse 27. That ye shall say that it is the Lord's, the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover.
Okay, so the question now is, the month that's been referred to as the beginning of month and the beginning of the new year is the Passover. So the question is, when does the Passover start?
Around about March, April. Yeah.
Good man. March starts at the Passover for us. We celebrate the Passover. Yeah. It's either, it can be the beginning, the middle, or end of March or beginning of April. Yeah. Because Easter, yes, they call it Easter. Yeah. But your months are determined by the new moon. Like when you see a new moon in the Bible, that's the beginning of a new month. Yeah. Or a new year. So it depends on the moon cycle. But yeah, you're 100% correct. It's March. Now, is it fair to say in March, things begin to come to new?
Yeah, I mean, that's spring, beginning of spring. Yeah.
I got it.
Right. I love that moment when the light bulb switches on. All right. It makes sense. New year starts, we understand from the Bible, the new year starts beginning of March. End of March, beginning of April, depending on the moon cycle. Give me Deuteronomy 16 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 1. Observe the month of Abib.
The month of Abib means ear of corn. So observe the month of Abib means ear of corn. Does the corn begin to grow in January?
Well, I don't know about here, but
more than likely no, right?
No, I mean it's just too cold.
Exactly. So the corn or the ear of corn would begin to come into life around March, April, when everything starts to come back into fruition. Come on.
Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib the Lord thy God brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
So again, the Israelites are commanded to observe the month of Abib, the ear of corn, the beginning of when everything comes into new, and to celebrate the Lord's Passover. Now the question is, if the Bible is very clear as to when the new year begins and also the new month based on the moon cycle.
So
it's like the beginning of life again. Like
exactly, that's what it meant. So when you say new year, it means a new beginning, not only for the people, but for the whole planet at the same time. The plants, the animals, everything is refreshed. But you see now the difference why we celebrate the new year in the 1st of January. But do you understand why?
That's what,
But somebody must have changed the law.
yeah, I just thought it's just a pagan thing, innit? Like, just another holiday to make money because we don't own any oils or anything. So this is how they make money through Christmases and New Year's and.
Exactly, brother.
Okay, Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of a month. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So Moses spoke to Aaron and said, this month shall be the beginning of months. It shall be the beginning of the months to you, right? Now we need to find out what was that month that Moses told him was the beginning of months, right? Jump down to verse 25.
25. And he reads, And it shall come to pass when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he has promised, that ye shall keep this service.
Okay.
And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service?
So the children will ask, why do we keep this particular service or this month, right? Come on.
That ye shall say, It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover.
Sacrifice of the what?
Of the Lord's Passover.
Now, sister, do you know when the Passover is kept?
Passover is March.
100% correct. Very wise, sister. Yes, the Passover it's either the beginning of March, but it can also be the end of March or the beginning of April, based on the moon cycle, because the children of Israel based the beginning of months when they saw the new moon. So whenever the new cycle of the moon came, that was the beginning of a new month. So yes, sister, March is the beginning of the month. Go back to verse 1.
Verse 1. Exodus chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of month. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So, like you said, sister, Passover begins in the month of March, or beginning of March, end of March, beginning of April. So Moses said this would be the first month and the beginning of the year for you. So according to the Bible, the beginning of the year starts in around March or April, depending on the cycle of the new moon. All right?
Think about it. You know the prefix of the month. When you go, let's say September, that prefix, sept. What does it mean to you, sept?
7, yeah, I know it's 7, but
So when you get to December,
10,
so January must be,
the first. So that's how they,
and February must be,
the second.
no, 12. Think about it.
If you're going from,
Yeah, if you're going from December, that's 10, January 11, February 12. Then you go March, which is the first of the year. So that's why he says, read it again so that brother can go.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High,
So it's going to change everything the Most High gave us in the law,
and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
So how comes then we're celebrating New Year? One more soldier. How comes we're celebrating New Year's now on January the 1st, which I told you it's a pagan god you're worshipping, the god of Janus, which is represented by a man that has two faces, because they said that this god can see into the future and can see in the past. And Julius Caesar instituted the month of January in honor of the celebration of that pagan god. Now, give me Daniel chapter 7:25. Listen to this.
the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
It says, he shall speak great words against the Most High. How do people speak great words against the Most High? They go against what the Bible says. For instance, the Bible says don't celebrate Christmas in the book of Jeremiah. But the people that enslaved us, or the people that put laws in the land, says it's okay to do so. Come on.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
So they shall think to change times and laws. They did that through their calendars, through the Gregorian calendar, they changed the ordinance of the months, telling you that January is the beginning of the month when it's the dead of winter. Nothing grows, nothing's new, and moved it from March to January.
I know you don't celebrate it, but what would you recommend for our people to do?
Stay indoors and chill, and just be with people you love instead of going out and getting smashed and drinking poison, and it's not worth it.
They said it, Israel. This is Guts from the Street. Stay safe. Don't celebrate the 1st of January. It's not the beginning of the year at all.
Have you ever heard the term April Fools?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So why are they saying, why are they calling you a fool on April the 1st? What do you think?
Oh, I think it's some.
France where they used to stick a fish, well, a picture of a fish onto your back, and then you would walk around thinking there's nothing on your back, and then you would look like a fool.
Something, okay. Sounds good, but bring it back to based on what we've just brought out here. If March or April was always the beginning of the new year, that it was when they instituted January being the first day of the month, a new year, you had a lot of people still celebrating the new year and the beginning of the new month in April. So those people that were celebrating it then, they were mocking them, calling them as fools. And also, when does the financial year start?
April.
Okay. If the financial year, why doesn't it start in January? If January is the first. Okay. So some things are adding up, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So listen, I hope we've brought some light onto you, that you can see that some of the customs that we're following, it's not biblical, and it's not really something that our people should be into, but we understand why. Officer Archangel here with another edition of Cuts from the Streets, and I'm here with Brother John and his beautiful daughter
Abner,
and his great son
Coffee.
Okay. And I hope you enjoy the edition Cuts from the Streets. Speak to you soon.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed, but at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.